Welcome to Sigma Eurasia. I'm Kavata Mercygrace, privileged to be joined by Darren. Welcome.
Thank you so much. I'm so happy to be here right now. Thank you.
Happy to have you here. So probably just tell us who you are and what you do for those people who don't know.
Yeah, sure. So I'm the founder of Saeculum Group. It is a talent management, consulting, and venture business. And this was opened several months ago, so very, very new. Prior to that, I was the chief talent officer at FaZe Clan, one of the largest esports organization in the world. And prior to that, I was a esports agent representing gamers and streamers and personalities around the esports.
Impressive. So what's your opinion on the growth of esports in the UAE, and where else do you think esports will begin to thrive in the near, long-term future?
First and foremost, I had the opportunity to come out into the Middle Eastern region in the last couple of years, and what I've seen is the way that UAE and similar regions have attacked esports in such velocity, meaning they went 2 foot in, jumped right into the pool, didn't slowly kind of get into it, and say, you know what, we're going to make this work. And what I've seen through the conferences and the events that I've been to is they're thinking about what esports and gaming will be like for not just the next year. They're talking about how do we make esports and gaming a household activity, much like any traditional sports. And I think what the rest of the world can really learn from that is that foresight. I think right now, if you look at what's going on in the esports industry in North America and in Europe, some parts of Asia, right now they're playing catch up with themselves. So they can't think about things 4 or 5 or 10 years ahead right now. They're trying to fix the issues right now. UAE and the surrounding areas, because they're coming in new, they have this opportunity to not do the same mistakes as the other regions. It seems that you guys are a lot more resourced, meaning you guys aren't thinking about how are we going to make money tomorrow, because most of the industry is thinking about that. UAE is thinking about how do we just make this a big thing and sustainable for a very, very long time. I think that a lot of the world can really learn from that and start to say, okay, what does esports look like for the next 20 years, 30 years? How does it become just as big as football is or other sports? So it's really impressive what this region has done in a short time.
But what lesson can be learned through the impressive expansion of the esports sector in the UAE?
What can be learned? I think one thing that can be learned is that it's not just focusing on the UAE region. Whenever I come to UAE, the amount of people coming globally, and it's not just regionally, brings a lot of different perspectives, a lot of different experiences. And once again, I think that's something to be learned from the rest of the other territories around the world. Everything feels very domesticated in those particular areas, whereas UAE feels very global.
Do you feel like they feel like that because they're not informed?
I think that it's not that they're not informed. I think that they're just focusing on the immediate, which is back at home and how to establish and build a business before going to the rest of the world, because of obviously what I think UAE has a leg over other territories is this region is so diverse, as is. This is the first time I've ever been in Dubai, and the amount of different people from around the world is kind of, it shows what kind of perspectives are coming into this industry from that perspective.
Great. So which emerging technology would you identify as being a promising avenue to pursue for the esports sector?
This may or may not be a little bit of a controversial answer, but obviously in the last 2 years, Web3, everything surrounding that, and gaming has been such a hot topic. I know there's a lot of chatter and debate whether or not there is any merit to it, because a lot of the Web3 applications have not really come into gaming, but I do feel like the concept and the technology around Web3 is the next evolution of gaming. And yeah, it's really going to be exciting how that unfolds.
And what improvements do you feel, if they're being made currently, you will push for?
There are several, but I think the number one is authenticity. I think that I had the opportunity to speak in a panel yesterday here about this topic, about how gaming and esports still is very much a very specific culture. Right now, it's being overly commercialized because, esports and gaming is the new shiny toy. Everybody's trying to get into it, whether they understand gaming or esports or not. And that's, a part of the issues that I've been seeing across the entire industry is, newcomers that are not understanding of the gaming community, the gaming culture, and then understanding the difference between gaming and also esports, which is the competitive side to gaming, right? Two different business models, two different audiences, and I think that anyone coming into this industry needs to know those differences.
So probably share with us the differences between esports and gaming.
Yeah, sure. Gaming is a lot more broad, right? In the sense that it is inclusive of casual gamers. For example, you could be playing Fortnite, right, as a casual gamer, but you could also be playing Minecraft or Roblox or, Super Mario, right? Esports is the competitive side to gaming, meaning these individuals practice day in, day out. This is their career, and it's very much like traditional sports. So they're either in leagues, they play in tournaments, they play in prize pools, whereas the gaming side is, like I said, more casual, and the individuals that drive that side of the business are more personality-based.
And do you feel like esports is affecting the performances of the gaming?
I think that point and argument has been kind of melted together to the point where people feel like they're affecting one or the other, but in reality, it shouldn't, right? And I think that just has to deal with the way that the industry has evolved to mix them both together, which is why it's very messy and why there's a lot of confusion in the market about it. I think that there is a place where there's this distinct line between gamers and esports professionals.
Great. So which brands do you feel will have a strong symbolic relationship with the industry if they were to enter esports scene in the near future?
My number one answer for that, because I have not seen a brand of this industry come in strong, airlines. Airlines, hotels, and the reason being is if we're going to continue on this topic and subject of international, global expansion, marketing to the rest of the world, being able to move certain people around the world is obviously going to be vitally important. But if they start to travel more and more, what's more exposure than being in an airline or a hotel that they usually stay at or fly on? And I think that that's going to bring the world closer together as well.
I totally agree with you.
Yeah.
So as we conclude, how has your experience during the whole summit been?
It's been fantastic. Hospitality has been great. People have been fantastic. Been really enjoying all the different types of panels here in so many different forms. So this is my first time here. Hopefully I'll be back next year or other iterations around the world. But yeah, it's really, really, really cool.
Thank you so much for your time.
Of course. Thank you.